To one and all, on behalf of Dr. Ambedkar Institute of Technology, myself Asharani KP, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, I extend a cordial welcome to all the judges and participants to SIH 2022 Internal Hackathon at Dr. Ambedkar Institute of Technology. Now I take this opportunity to introduce judges for today's Internal Hackathon. Firstly, I would like to introduce our beloved Dean, Industry Institute Interaction, Dr. Gauri Shankar sir. I welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome Dr. Prabha ma'am, Professor, Department of CSE. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Asha.
Now I would like to welcome Professor Srinivas sir, Associate Professor, Department of CSE. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
I would like to welcome Dr. Tanuja ma'am, Associate Professor, Department of Electronics. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Asha.
Once again, I extend a warm welcome to all the participants and wish you all the best. Students, the instructions are given in the chat window, wherein the order in which you are supposed to present has been displayed. The first team, are you people ready? Tejas and team?
We are ready.
Can you share the screen?
Yes. And is the screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. And shall we start?
Yeah, you can start. Sir, can we start, sir? GS, sir?
Please go ahead, ma'am. No issues.
Okay, sir.
Good morning, one and all present here. My name is Tejas Purwal, the team leader of Team 405 Found. And our team presentation will be given by Richa Sharma and Shrishti Joshi. So, ma'am, I'll be starting the presentation now. Richa?
A very good morning, everyone. My name is Richa Sharma, and this presentation is conferred by the group 405 Pound with Tejas Porwal as the team leader. The problem statement selected by us is, every year a number of students take admissions into the government-aided schools. Currently, the attendance system for the schools is done manually. Hence, the requirement of a robust and a low-cost system is needed. Addressing this problem will ensure the proper attendance and will help the teachers in taking the attendance. So the basic idea behind the project is that we propose to solve the above problem by designing an enterprise resource planning for handling the current attendance procedure. This makes the attendance process easier and less time consuming. Our system provides some key features and some of them are listed below. The first one is real-time tracking system. We can identify pupils and track their attendance using the ERP paradigm. This is referred to as a real-time tracking system, and it is a more efficient method of collecting the attendance as it saves time and is hassle-free. Number 2 is authorized access and remote access. Only the authorized personnel, namely the administrator and the authorized teachers who are given a username and a password, will be able to log into the system.
Richa, hold on.
Yes, sir.
All the members of this particular team, please enable your video mode.
Sure, sir.
Yes, sir. So shall we continue now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on to the authorized access and remote access. Only the authorized personnel, namely the administrator and the authorized teachers who are given a username and a password, will be able to log into the system. Another significant benefit is the remote access, which allows us to use a laptop or a mobile phone to access the system from anywhere. Number 3 is increasing productivity and a foolproof system. So the teacher's productivity skyrockets since they don't have to manually take the attendance, which may be exhausting and time consuming. It is also less prone to human error and it is more dependable and reliable. Because attendance can only be taken once and cannot be modified later, the approach decreases the risk of it being misused. As a result, we may state that our system is foolproof. So number 4 is the system is completely safe and maintains confidentiality. So the system is safe and secure because it can only be accessed by the authorized personnel. Without authorization, any other student or faculty member will be unable to access the system, hence increasing the secrecy. So the parent will also receive a notification on the day their ward is absent. We have implemented our technology using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for implementing the front end and presenting the data to the client side. We have used PHP for linking the front end to the back end and also for fetching the queries, and database for storing the entered values and data from the front end. So we've also shown the image of a prototype. We can select a role as the admin or the teacher and enter the email and the password given to us to log into the system. Srishti will now be continuing with the presentation.
Good morning. I'm Srishti Joshi, and I'll be continuing the presentation. So right after we explained about all the key features, I'll be explaining our model using UML diagram and a pictorial representation. The first I'll be explaining using the UML diagram. We have used this to visualize our portal. So first, the login is selected where the role of the person who is entering is selected. It can either be an admin or a teacher. So once the admin enters into the portal, by entering his or her email and password, they can only add the details into the database. They can either add teacher details, student details, term details, section and class details. But when it comes to the teacher logs into the portal with his email ID and password, but the teacher cannot add any new details, but they can only view the details which is already added by the admin. And the teacher can also view the student details, and also under attendance, they can only take the class attendance, they can check the student attendance and also the class attendance. So coming to the pictorial representation, so once the admin logs in, he enters into the database the teacher records and all the other records that is needed to be uploaded into the database. So when the teacher enters the portal, so he can only view the details. So this ensures confidentiality and authorized access. So the teacher can only view the details of the class that he has been assigned to, and he cannot view any other class which he is not a part of. So overall, to conclude, before telling my team member details, I just want to tell that the main key features that Richa already told, they were all covered. One is the real-time tracking system, authorized access and remote access, increasing productivity and foolproof system. The system is completely safe and it maintains confidentiality, and the parent receives the notification. So overall, to conclude, I can tell that this model is also it also helps in easy scalability, that it can also be implemented easily, making it easy for the users as well as the people using it, like the teacher and the admin, to access it easily. And to conclude with my team members, our team leader name is Tejas Pawar, and our other team members are Richa Sharma, Shreyas R, myself, Srishti Joshi, Suresh S, and Yogesh Kumar. Thank you.
Srishti, it was a nice presentation. So what technology stack you are planning to employ for solving this problem?
Sorry, sir. Could you repeat the last part? I couldn't hear.
What technology stack you will be using to implement this problem? To implement the solution for this problem?
Like we will be adding, a mail system so that people can get a idea, like when their ward this app that day.
What is the backend database you're planning to use?
MySQL and MariaDB.
MySQL.
Have you thought of any security issues that comes?
Ma'am, will be implementing the Firebase for that. Just for the login part, that if the login credentials are wrong, and it will just share the notification that you have entered the wrong password, and will directly share will directly retrieve that message to your Gmail that your incorrect password, and after that it will show that.
Only through login you're providing security. Any
No, ma'am,
other?
but ma'am, otherwise it is secure, ma'am, because the authorized personnel will only be able to access the website. There's no chance that an unauthorized person or like unwanted user will be accessing, because it's secured by entering your email and password. So that's just personal thing.
What is the overall cost of the project?
Ma'am,
Cost effectiveness?
Ma'am, it's very effective, ma'am, because you won't be able to it's basically zero cost. It's just the cost of coding, and it's just easily implemented, ma'am. There's no external cost if implementing. We just have to directly just easily scalable, ma'am, because you can just directly change the project name to a particular school or a college, and it will be easily, like, we can already give it to the required school. Like, this is for government of Maharashtra. Suppose, ma'am, suppose there is any school, XYZ school name, and they want to take our system. So, ma'am, they can just easily take it, because we can just have to just make the little changes for their name, and it will be officially handed over to them also.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions, judges?
No, ma'am, I do not have any questions.
Hello.
Please go ahead, ma'am. Tanuja, ma'am.
Yeah. Hello. The presentation was good, but the thing I'm got confusion about what is the methodology, what you are using for the tracking system, real-time tracking system.
And the real-time tracking is we are telling that whatever the data, suppose for today, the today class attendance was taken.
Yes.
So the other, for the administrator and the teacher will be able to access it. Suppose the teacher was able to take the attendance and has logged out, but if she wants to enter and check what attendance she has taken, it will be already stored, and she can also view it at the same time by logging in from this from different system. So she'll be able to check what attendance she has taken, and if she cannot change the attendance. There's no chance that she'll be able to change the attendance what she has taken, but she can view the attendance that she has taken already.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Tejas and team. Can we go with the second team now?
Thank you, ma'am.
Arun Kumar, you people ready?
Yes, ma'am.
You can share your screen.
Good morning, everyone. This is Bindushree from ECE department, and our team name is Electro Infinity with the leader Arun Kumarian. And we are here to discuss about the topic IoT sensors. Our problem statement is the problems which are related to agriculture, food technology, and rural development. Our team members are Arun Kumar, Anirudh, Bindushriyam, Akshay, and Chinmay. We are presenting under the guidance of Harsha sir and Dr. Shivaputra sir. As we all know, India is an agricultural country. Agriculture has always been India's most important economic sector. Since India's population always depends on agriculture,
there will be a lot of problems to be faced. There will be a lot of problems to be faced. Out of all the problems, human and animal conflict is the major one, where enormous amount of resources is lost and even human life will be in a danger. Nowadays, this conflict is becoming more, and human animal conflict is more in Asia and also in Africa. Elephants and other wild animals enter into the vegetation farm in the search of nutrition food. So, where the chasing of animals will be difficult for farmers, and also it will be difficult for the life of wild animals. So, we are here to present a topic which is a solution for this. The idea and approach details will be explained by Anirudh.
Good morning, everyone. The objective of our project is to provide protection from attacks of wild animals and thus minimizing the probable loss to the farmer, to detect intrusion around the field, to capture the images of intruder and classifying them using image processing, comparing that image with animal's image, taking suitable action based on the type of intruder. We've based our project on 3 papers. So the first paper is automatic detection of animals in mowing operations using thermal cameras. During the last decade, strong competition in the agricultural sector has resulted in development of high-efficiency farm equipment. Several species are likely to be negatively affected by mowing operations. These include not only common farmland species, but also endangered species like the corncrake. Thermal imaging and digital imaging processing may be an important tool for the improvement of wildlife-friendly farming practices and offers as such a potential for reducing wildlife mortality in agriculture. The second paper is Animal Detection System in Farm Areas. The main aim of our project is to protect the crops from damage caused by animal as well as divert the animal without any harm. Animal Detection System is designed to detect the presence of animal and offer a warning. In this project, we use PIR to detect the movement of the animal and send signal to the controller. Agriculture is the backbone of economy, but because of animal interference in agricultural lands, there will be huge loss of crops. Farmers in India face serious threats from pests, natural calamities, and damage caused by animals, resulting in lower yields. So, animal detection system is necessary in farm areas. To overcome this issue, we have designed a system in which sound is played, and by using LDR, it detects light intensity. If it is less, it will focus the light so that the animals will not enter into the farm. It will run away. GSM module sends message to the farmer to alert him. The third paper is Animal Intrusion Warming System using IoT. Wildlife intrusion in areas with high human mobility is proved to be lethal for both human beings and animals. Thus, this proposed system seeks to detect wild animals that disturb the human life and the agricultural fields with the aid of a PIC controller. The proposed system is tested with animal database, and if the wild animals are detected, then the messages are sent to the web page of the mobile. Now, safety of each human and animal is equally vital. Thus, the detection and tracking of motion of multiple or groups of animals will also be an area of focus in future studies. Thank you.
The sequence diagram and technological stack will be briefed by Chinmay.
So, ma'am, before getting into the topic, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Chinmay, and let me give a brief information about the technological information that is being utilized by the farmers previously in the past years. So, only 62.5% of the farmers who are using IT-based kind of information in their farming methodologies, and when considering the fact they use IT, depending on the fact that they're using harvest automation, autonomous tractors, and seeding and weeding using drones. And the remaining 37.5, they are the ones who are not including technology. And remembering the fact that it's 37.5, can we just conclude that because of them, the GDP is actually decreasing, which is affecting our economy? And our theme is basically IoT sensors. And by IoT, I mean Internet of Things, that is basically used to get the real-time information from various measures of all the kind of data that has been accumulated from the farming lands that is being used in a given farming plot of area. And coming back to the sequence diagram, the sequence diagram depicts the interaction between the system and the sequential order, and the system's requirements in a sequential order. And basically, the stack that we are being used is in such a way that the sequence diagram is a good diagram that basically represents the interaction between the system, and it documents the system requirements first of all, and it then flushes out the system design that is being used to overcome it. And coming back, mom, we are using CNN, convolutional neural network, and the best part about this is these are the ones that classify images, that clumps them, and the best part about it is it's using object recognition. And while using object recognition, we would like to highlight the point that the software that we're using is Python 2.7 or higher, which is basically used as a machine learning in this model that we are using presently. And coming back to the technological stack that we're using is basically GM module, Global System Positioning Module for mobile communications, and hardware such as AMD, Intel Pentium, and which is around, and we need around minimum of 10 GB hard drive. Fine. And yeah, that's it, ma'am.
The use cases are described by Arun.
Good morning, everyone. It's Arun here. I'm going to talk about the use cases of our project. The main aim of our project is to protect the crops from damage caused by animals, and even we need to we are not interested in harming any animals. Our farmers are using electric fences, which causes animals some illegal things like they can act abnormally and or even be killed. Electrocution is nothing but the death or severe injury by electric shocks, electric current passing through the body. The animals and even humans suffer a lot from this every year. They might act abnormally or even be killed due to fencing. Our project diverts the animal by producing the sound and signals. The signal generated is sent immediately to the farmers and for the forest department for any further uses.
The dependencies are presented by Akshay.
Good morning, everyone. Akshay here. Agriculture is the backbone of a country, but intrusion of animals into the farming lands leads to huge loss of crops. When a herd of elephants enter into a fully grown field, almost three-fourths of the yield will be eaten away by the elephants, and the farmers will be left with less amount of yield. When other animals like leopards, cheetahs enter their field, the farmers will try to chase them away, but end up hurting themselves from the deadly claws. Therefore, safety of both animals and humans are vital. So, animal detection system is necessary in farming areas. Thank you.
In the above project shown, agriculture field, human-animal conflict, it is a major problem where enormous amount of resources is lost and also human life is in danger. So we are here to collect the data from our agriculture developed websites, train images and test images that we will get the output for which image will be labeled and accuracy will be displayed. So we can overcome this issue. Thank you.
Hello.
Please go ahead, sir. We are able to hear your voice.
Yeah. So good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Your
sir.
idea is good, but thing is, suppose if the animal has come to that the farm, that whatever that field, no. So sometimes a farmer is not near to that field. Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes, sir.
So what should be the precaution? So what should be the time duration? So how it is going to alert, and what should be the time?
So based on the
Because
size,
when he
the
has
forest
get,
department will be alerted, sir. Based on the size. So if
no
it's
one is
animals,
near to that field means, so by that time anything will happen, no?
yes, sir.
What should be the precaution for that?
Sir, by
So
motion
basically, we are
sensing,
just trying to scare the animal away by using some sound waves and different light mechanisms, just for the sake until the farmer and other people are returned, and they are also getting a message in the real time life that what's happening at the present status near their farm.
One more thing. So any of you know about the rural area, there is no power relay. What should be the power management you are using?
So using solar cells and other renewable sources that we can possibly implement in it, and
But
basically
during
there's
rainy seasons, that will not be charged, no?
so we can help them with the generators.
How it is possible for farmer to generate or everything? How it is possible? So it should be what generic, no?
So this is basically you're telling me that during the winter season, solar panels are not be used.
How? Because in during winter or maybe in rainy season, there is no the what solar power will not be what charged. No. So how it will be managed? So we cannot tell animals will come only in this season. Cannot predict like that. Correct. So do you have any the precautions regarding this? Do you have any idea?
So we can
So
be
by
using like
providing with
battery electric
backups.
facilities.
You think about rural side. There may be more power failures. No, they are removing that power and there should be shift. So how it is possible to do all these things? Think
Sir,
about for rural
cameras
side.
and IoT sensors will be provided with battery backup, sir. When the solar panels are working, it will
Okay,
work.
battery backup is how many hours? How many hours?
So depending upon the area and the size of requirements, the
So
battery variations
listen.
may
So
vary.
when you are presenting this, okay. So generally this type of questions you will get. So you should ready for all these things. So battery backup means you should know the how many hours, 1 hour or 2 hour, 3 hour.
So if it's the rural areas, then we can just let the government know that they need some kind of electricity, and when they are provided with electricity, we can utilize this mechanism of
Then
working.
it is not become general, no. So it will become only for particular what the farmers.
So then, if there's no other means of getting electricity provided to them, then we have to get some other source, right? Apart from solar panel and other variations.
So is it possible with all this in your the project?
Yes, so the battery backup is quite good depending upon the area and the quality of the land that we are using it. And so technically, sir, we are using solar panel, and yeah, during the daytime, it's highly effective. And as you said, during the winter, sir, even though it's the least possible situation when we are not getting electricity, we'll find out another way where we can provide them with electricity. Like
Think
whenever they are
over
getting the
okay,
usage of electricity, let them store it and utilize it.
okay, you think over all those things, and you just do some number should be there for the battery backup or some other thing. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
sir.
All the best.
Yes, sir.
What about the technological part? You didn't explain about the technology, what you are using for implementation.
Ma'am, we're using GSM module, ma'am, Global System for Mobile Communication, and Python software of 2.7 or higher. Basically, we are using the CNN, convolution neural network. And the idea behind this is because it just classifies the image and cluster them into, similarities, and then performs object recognition. Object recognition is technically, what I'm telling is we are introducing AI in the technological fields of farming, That's the greatest thing that we can do for the present situation. We are introducing artificial intelligence at the same time. So that's
What
how
is
we are using technology in this part.
the existing methodology for what the farmers are using?
That's what I'm telling you now, ma'am. See, 37.5, they don't use any kind of technology, ma'am. So suppose if we can let them introduce this kind of technologies, and I'll tell you for sure, ma'am, the gross domestic product, that is the GDP, dramatically increases, ma'am. From this year to the next year, there's only an increase of 630 billion US dollars. So we can increase it more just by increasing the number of farmers not using the technology.
Then how will you get the data? From where you can collect the data, required
Ma'am,
data?
the IoT sensors that we are using, ma'am, IoT meaning the ones that allows devices across the farm to measure all kinds of data remotely, and this information is provided to the farmer. And first and foremost thing, we need to educate the farmers how to utilize this kind of technology, and how would they get to know what is the meaning of the message that they are getting from these devices. So educating them and letting them know the facilities that they are provided with, and increasing the economical factor of this society is the utmost theme of this project, ma'am. Basically, it's regarding the agricultural effectiveness.
Okay, you can go ahead. The idea is very good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hello, Akshay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. This idea is already existing, but the technically you are telling it as a CNN for a classifier. In that you have to go for the pooling either in a 2D or the 3D and a matrix. Everything it is instead of going for just only the image of the animal. Can you mention it for only the better? You go for the live video stream. You are mentioning only.
Ma'am, actually the video is included, ma'am, but the images is just the ma'am, due to the parameter of shortage of time, we could only explain the image processing of it, ma'am. Video and other stuff, it's included.
This idea is already existing nowadays, but it is better you have to go for the live video stream. That is the one conclusion I can mention.
Yes, ma'am, sure, ma'am. We'll implement it, ma'am. Ma'am, that's the reason we are using this Python 2.7, so that if there's any update, we can manually update the system, and you can increase its efficiency, even though if it's 1%.
Okay, but when you are comparing the images, you are using the classifier, right? For the classifier, you have to go for the R classifier. These are the methodology you have to first confirm it, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you, Arun and team. Can we proceed with the next team?
Thank you, ma'am.
Are you people ready? Next team.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you send the list of the teams, ma'am, the order in which we have to go?
Yeah, now it is Dikshit team, followed by yours team, Asta.
Thank you very. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Just a second, ma'am. We'll present the screen.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I am Dikshit, and my team members are Badrinarayan S, Chinmay Shri, Aishwarya BR, Aishwarya RD, and our project is the Good Robot. So today, over to you, Aishwarya.
Thank you, Dikshit. The idea is about the good robot. It's a model of the automated guided vehicle. So it's a self-driving vehicle. So we can use this to move items from one place to another. These are in the medical field where and we use it because the medical staffs are overexploited. So these vehicles can move from one bed to another, to transfer items. Then the automated guided vehicle are most often used in industrial applications to transport heavy materials around a large industrial building. Next, over to Dikshit.
Thank you, Aishwarya. So here we have modified a traditional automated guided vehicle to add some more features, like without any human intervention, the vehicle must move. So we have used lane detection. Here we are using lane detection for autonomous movement. And also to collect patients' vitals, we are using various sensors, which will come back to that later. And then to identify the patient, we are using face detection. And then we will update all the vitals in the database. And if there is any variation or if there is any emergency situation, in that case, an alert will be raised. And also these kind of vehicles can be used not only for monitoring the patients, it can also be used for delivering medicines or any other food or any kind of deliverables that can be delivered to patients. So next, the requirement slide will be explained by Badrinarayan. Over to you, Badri.
Thank you, Dikshit. Can you please present the screen? So my part of explanation is about hardware and software requirements. So first of all, we are using ultrasonic sensor that's used to detect the obstacle and distance of the obstacle using ultrasonic sound waves. And the next component is RFID, which is a radio frequency identification radar. It's a device that is used to gather the information from RFID tag, and it is used to track the individual objects. And we have used Raspberry Pi, that is a microcontroller that's used to perform major operations in our project, such as lane detection and face detection. And we have also used another microcontroller, that is Arduino Uno, that's used to perform minor operations such as patient health monitoring. And the next component is dual H bridge that's used for controlling motors. And motor is obviously used to perform the mechanical operations.
An O2 sensor is used to monitor the oxygen saturation level of a patient, that is max 30100 pulse oximeter sensor, and it also used to measure the pulse rate of a patient. So one sensor does both the operations. And the next thing is temperature sensor, that is used to measure the body temperature of the patient. And ECG sensor, it plots the ECG graph, echocardiography graph of a patient. Coming to software requirements, we have used Raspbian OS in order to work with the Raspberry Pi microcontroller, and Arduino IDE is used to work on Arduino Uno, and PuTTY interface is used. So the next slide will be explained by Aishwarya. Over to you, Aishwarya.
Thank you, Badri. So, as you already mentioned, the patient vitals are going to be monitored. So, some of the patient vitals that are going to be monitored include the blood oxygen saturation level, SpO2, and blood pressure, which are going to be measured by MAX 100 pulse oximeter sensor, body temperature by DS18B20 sensor, and ECG is measured by SparkFun AD8232 sensor. And these data is then going to be updated to the database. Now coming to the face recognition part. So this part is used to recognize the particular patient and then update all his medical records into the database in a timely manner. So some of the steps involved here include: first, the face of the patient is detected. This can be either done through the image captured or through the live video. Then the detected face is going to be recognized. Later, in a time-to-time manner, the health status of that particular recognized patient is going to be updated into the database. This information can later be retrieved as from the database. That's all about our idea. Thank you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah. Hello, in this project, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. Hello, what is the role of the RFID here? Because it is just a precision location identifier. Then you are telling RFID, so many hardware you are using for taking only in the 4 vital parameters. You are using ultrasonic sensor, oximeter sensor, temperature sensor, then again ECG sensor, then RFID you are using, Raspberry Pi microcontroller you are using, again, then Arduino, then again dual H bridge you are using it. See, to measure only the vital parameter of the face recognition, 4 sensors, 2 microcontroller, 1 relay, then RFID. What is the necessity of all those hardwares now?
Ma'am, so basically our project contains 3 major parts. So first one is the autonomous movement of the vehicle. So to support that part, we are using motors in dual H bridge, and RFID is used to identify the beds.
How many motors you are using it?
Ma'am, it depends on the size of the vehicle, ma'am. 2 to 4 motors are required.
You have to restrict the number of the motor. Suppose you are using only 1 motor, because you have to consider the directions. Either the robot can move on to right, left, forward or backward. If you are considered only 1 motor can sustain for 4 direction, because nowadays in the market it is available for 360 degree, the DC motor is there. So you can utilize 1 motor is enough. How many motors you are offering?
Yes, ma'am. But if we need that kind of motors, the cost will also increase, ma'am. So we are using simple.
Yeah, already the cost will be
Vivo
more.
motors.
See, 5 microcontroller is there already inbuilt. So many wireless modulation is there here. Then Arduino, why you are using? Already you have 1 microcontroller.
Yes, ma'am. Coming back to that.
Arduino for what?
Yes, ma'am. Some sensors, they are not compatible with Raspberry Pi. We will try to implement everything on Raspberry Pi. If it does not work, then we have an Arduino as a backup.
No. You have to work only on the 1 microcontroller. That is the optimization of your project.
Yes, ma'am.
Then ultra sensor.
Yes,
RFID, see, the major thing is RFID now. Where you keep your tag and the reader, again the database, the data submit.
Yes, ma'am. Coming back to RFID, so suppose you consider one room. So in a room, there are 4 beds of different patients. So when the vehicle is moving, in order to identify, say, bed number 1, 2, 3, so we are using RFID to identify this part. And it is there on the lane. RFID scanner is inbuilt with the vehicle, and then the tags are present on the lane. For that purpose, we are using RFID, ma'am.
Okay. For the tag and the reader, where you will keep your reader? Then what
Reader
about the wireless modulation part?
Reader will be in the vehicle, ma'am. Tag will be attached on the lane.
On the lane. Okay, right.
Yes, ma'am.
Parallelly or serially?
I didn't get you, ma'am.
Yeah, tag you have to set it for the on parallelly for the lane or the series. Because you have the advantages. If you put it in a parallel or in a series, you have the advantage for that because already the RFID is a precision location identifier, as you know.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then what is the necessity of the dual H bridge? Are they working as a relay?
No, ma'am. Actually, dual H bridge is used for motor controller, ma'am. If we are using BO motor, then we need dual H bridge in order to control it, ma'am.
Then okay, how will you control the direction of the robot?
That is
You have to
depending.
control.
Sorry, ma'am.
In which direction? See, suppose the robot is moving in the right direction. You want to move it on the left direction. Suddenly you have the changes, right? The changes,
Yes,
how will you make the changes using which component or which tool?
And we will not have any sharp curves, ma'am.
Madam is asking control, robo control.
I didn't understand.
Okay,
Ma'am,
let
could
it
you
be.
repeat the
Now we
question?
have the 4 types of sensors, right? 4 type of sensor: ultrasonic sensor, oximeter, then again ECG sensors, and the temperature. You have the analog output for that. Then which controller you are using as the front end to conversion for the DC output? Either you will go for the Raspberry or the Arduino.
Ma'am, Raspberry, ma'am. Raspberry Pi.
See, all the outputs you are getting embedded in a Raspberry, then why are you moving on to the Arduino?
Ma'am, Arduino is just a backup, ma'am.
Backup. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the cost of your project then?
Ma'am, an estimate around 7,000 will come, ma'am.
7,000.
Yes, ma'am. We are using
What about
Raspberry
the
Pi
wireless
Model
modulation?
3B+.
Okay. Wireless modulation part?
Wireless modulation in the sense?
How will you collect all the data to your databases?
Ma'am, through LAN, ma'am. LAN.
Okay. You are considering the robot only the indoor environment?
Yes, ma'am. Only indoor.
Indoor. Okay.
Dikshit?
Yes, sir.
It's a very simple question. Why the title good robot? Is there any bad robot?
Nothing like that, sir. There is nothing like bad robot.
What is the reason to keep the title good robot?
Sir, it's basically the idea of our robot is to help medical or to help in emergency
Then you can
situations.
use the term in that way only, no? So that good robot means it become general. So what purpose of using that robot, that is also matters, no?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that matters. But title
Because
we
the
gave
different robots will do for different purpose, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it possible to use your robot for any other purpose?
No, sir. It is only specific to this purpose. And
then
what you are
please
trying
stick
to
on to
tell
that.
is,
What we are beginning, the title should be that. No, good robot will become general, no?
so what you are suggesting is we have to give our title more specific to the project. Is that, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, we can change it, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Yeah. So, in emergency conditions, how you are training the robot? In case of
Training in the
emergency,
sense,
how it will act? In
ma'am,
case of
here
emergency condition.
here emergency condition in the sense like in situations of pandemic where nurses are being overexploited, they are being used like overused. So in order to relieve their work in that kind of emergencies, we are using this.
Okay. Not regularly.
Regularly also we can use it will work, ma'am. But the idea of this was from the pandemic when this was happening.
Okay.
System is going to be help even after the existence of the nurses and the physical monitoring. So even though we have a physical monitoring of medical staff to the patient, sometimes we may during night times the patient may experience the suffocation or the at the case of emergencies. If, for example, if the patient's oxygen level or if the body temperature goes down or if the pulse rate of a patient goes down, we also plan to use the GSM module, that is Global System for Mobile Communication. And with the help of that, we can send the alert messages to the medical staff during the night times through SMS notifications so that the nurses and medical staff can immediately can come to attend the patient's can immediately can attend the patient so that no problem will occur. That's it, ma'am.
Thank you, Badri and team. Now, can we have Deepak team? Are you people ready?
Yes, ma'am. We are ready.
All your teammates, please enable your camera.
Is it visible?
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Shall we start?
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Good morning, one and all. My name is Asta Singh. I am one of the member of Team Exuberance, and the other member are Abhishek Sogwal, Ayush Mishra, Ambud Singh, Deepak Kumar, Prishu Pandey, and the team leader is Deepak Kumar. Our problem statement is gamification for awareness and coverage need for comprehensive health insurance that covers OPD and lab. And I will be giving a brief description of what health insurance is, what is OPD, what is lab, and why people don't buy health insurance, and what are the issues which they face when they buy health insurance. So let us move on to what is health insurance. Health insurance is the insurance that covers medical expenses that arise due to an illness. So it could be related to hospitalization cost of medicines, or consultation fees. So before moving on to what is OPD, I want to draw the attention on the fact why health insurance is important. So the first point is rising medical cost. Along with food, shelter, and clothes, health insurance has become a necessity to maintain the pace with the constant increasing prices of healthcare in our country. Income tax benefit. Payments made toward health insurance premiums are also eligible for tax deductions. And also, we observed that before COVID hit the world, people rarely were interested in knowing what a health insurance is, what are the schemes provided by health insurance, in which domain the health insurance provide coverage. But after COVID, we have seen a steep increase in the number of consumers who purchased comprehensive insurance plans to go from 32% to 55%. So now I will be moving on to what an OPD is. OPD stands for outpatient department. It is also known as the window. It is also known as a shop window of the hospital. So basically, outpatient means a patient who attends a hospital for treatment without staying in the hospital. Suppose a man is having fever or stomachache or headache. So if you want to get a consultation from the doctor, he can visit the outpatient department. So this is what we mean by outpatient department. OPD coverage, the plans which gives OPD coverages are Active Health Enhanced Platinum Plan, Tax Gain Plan. Now we will see what are lab tests. So a medical procedure that involves testing a sample of blood, urine or other substance from the body. So it also helps to determine whether you have a liver disease or a kidney disease, or how much, if your body is absorbing enough protein or not. Now we will see why people don't buy health insurance. The first reason is lack of awareness. We have so many advertisement regarding cell phones, fairness, cream, but we don't have much advertisement about health insurance compared to them. Money crunch. Buying a policy will make us bleed financially. Distrust of companies. Obviously, it is very difficult to gain the trust of billion of people overnight. General misconceptions, like we believe that there are no long-term benefits of buying a policy. Now we will discuss about what are the issues user face while buying health insurance. Self-buy journey of insurance purchase is non-engaging, which results in more drop-offs. Lack of understanding of the importance of insurance products. Lack of understanding of coverage and how to consume. Now I am going to share the details which we are going to present in our solution. Abhishek, can you move down the slide? So we will, in our web application, we will be applying gamification so that users will have interest in knowing what a health insurance is. We will be providing different types of health insurance and what's covered. And we will also describe in detail how to buy insurance, and the users will be redirected to different websites where they can buy insurance. The technologies which we have used for front end are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, JS. And for design part, we are using Adobe XD, Mockup, Protopie. Now I would request Abhishek to explain the further slides.
Thank you, Asta, for the brief discussions. So now, before going into the solution, we should understand what is the problem statement is about. As you might have heard recently, like we were more talking about the gamification. We'll apply gamification. So what do I'll tell you about gamification in some different parts. Like what is gamification? Why do we need gamification? And what is the effect of gamification in the recent industries, and why it has taken this much of popularity in the industries, and how we'll be using the gamification in our product. So gamification is nothing but it's a process, or it's a way of representing your data or representing your information on your applications, or like whether it is a web application or an application like mobile application. So in gamification, we use the user interface components like UI components, which are more interactive and which increases the interaction between the user and the software they are being using. So the main thing why the gamification was introduced into the industry was before we might have seen websites like 10 years back, or we can see the Wikipedia. So those websites are something which just dump the data on the websites, and if you're very patient, and which is not a thing which is being present in the society. So the Wikipedia thing, the dumping of data makes it more boring for us to understand and go through the whole paragraphs of data. So instead of going through the whole paragraphs of data, we can implement the gamification and implement the design in such a way that the whole chunk of information can be explained to the users in a more proficient way. For example, you have a data, for example, you have a survey data of your country, or maybe for different states. So one way is you can just implement that data on your website using like just putting up the data on the tables, which is not very promising and very eye-catching. So that's why we introduced gamification. Like in gamification, some of the components are, you might have came across the progress bars, the the animations which is being used, and that is something which is in trend if we consider the design trends of 2022 and 2021. So gamification has taken a huge progress in the last previous years. And what's the effect of gamification in the insurance industry, or whether it's any industry? The thing is, like, if we implement a gamification on a product, the main thing which will be improved is the dropping off rate. So usually people drop off due to the long registration process, long and like a large amount of data to be like we have to go through the large amount of data. So instead of, if you implement gamification, the dropping off rate will decrease very drastically. And it's not been a hypothesis or something, it's been proven by many industries which are being using the gamification. One of the best examples are An Academy. Then other example which is well known for gamification is Duolingo. So I'll take a moment and show you Duolingo so you can connect with the gamification which I'm trying to tell you. So here they so Duolingo is nothing but it's a platform which tells you about or makes you learn languages. So you can learn any language here. And the best thing which they have came up with, they have divided the whole journey of learning language into different levels. And as we know, whenever we put something whenever we introduce levels in something, like whether it's game or whether it's about learning, so the people get more motivated and they feel to learn more about it, or like do things in a more proficient way. And the other example of gamification is the scoreboards. So scoreboards is something which has been used by many industries, like which are more into B2C. And because due to the progress bar, you actually can trace your progress, and that is something which makes you more proficient and motivated to understand the things. And in scoreboard, you feel motivated, yeah, like I have to come at the first place, and that is something which is considered in gamification. So now let me tell you what like how we can apply this gamification in the insurance part. So in the insurance part, the why do we need gamification is something because like as my friend said, the and awareness is less in the insurance industry, and that is something need to be solved. So and today, if you want to solve something, the solution should be on the internet. That is something which will solve the problem for a large amount of targeted users. So that is why we have planned to introduce gamification on the insurance part, and make the whole process of awareing the user in a more proficient way by applying the UI components and the gamified user interface. And about the whole solution, my friend Deepak will take you through. So Deepak, all yours.
Sorry, Abhishek. Let me correct you. It is me who will going to explain. But thanks, Abhishek.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I am Ayush Mishra, and I will be continuing the rest of the PPT from here. Moving forward, let me introduce you to the real approach of making our game-centric web application. Here, the focus is not just to let the user understand the real meaning of an insurance, but to make a clear picture by giving the real-life scenario of having one. So our web application is divided into 4 parts. In the first part, we are focusing on spreading awareness about health insurance and why it is necessary. This will be done with the help of a gamification or a model or a story that consists of different scenarios that showcase how health insurance is helpful for the patient and their family. For the second part, we will be informing the user about the different health insurances and their benefit that will help the user in comparing it with others to choose the best one according to their need. For example, let's take for a young healthy individual, you do not require a plan with monthly blood pressure consultation, but an OPD care plan will be ideal for them for going for checkup like fever or a headache or something else. So after that, user can go through a simulation of buying process that will help them understand the terms of the buying process, that will help them understand the terms and conditions of the health insurance and the necessary documents required while buying one. This step is critically important because reading the terms and condition will help them in claim settlement process. And finally, we will redirecting the user to a website where where to buy the health insurance. Now, to conclude the overall presentation, according to the latest economic survey released by the Ministry of Finance, only 3 out of 100 people have a life insurance policy in India. And this is also after the post-COVID scenario where people have understood that it's not just that the people don't want to buy an insurance, but it's just that they don't feel the real value and importance of having one. And we, with our web application, is trying to bridge a gap between these two scenarios with a flavor of gamification in it. That's all from Team Exuberant. Thank you all for listening. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. It's good. Okay, gamification is good. But the thing, only the user will purchase for the only the simple health insurance purchasing. For that, you are considered as a Bajaj Finserv as the case studies. When the user make it as a negative impact, how the users will make the claim and the settlement concept. Only for the claim and settlement concept, better you go for the M-Fine case study. That will you will get the good result. M-Fine is that. Okay, that is my suggestion.
Ma'am, actually, the question is only turned by the Bajaj Finserv company, so we are providing for them specifically.
Okay.
We
How
can,
you are now concentrating more on the negative impact of how the users will claim and settlement. That is a major thing nowadays. Only simple purchasing the health insurance, everybody will go for the purchasing the health insurance. When it comes as a negative impact for the claim and the settlement concept, that how will you overcome that?
Ma'am,
For the gamification?
according to a survey, the claim settlement process is in negative side due to negligence. The buyer does not read the terms and conditions of the health insurance. That is why they face difficulty in claim settlement process. So in our website, we are specifically gamified that so that users read the terms and conditions properly and they understand everything so that they do not face any issues while claiming the settlement.
And one more thing to add, ma'am. Actually, we are trying to build the preface, like we have showing the user what is the need, how this insurance can help them, and the negative part will be solved in consideration that we will make them understand in such a way that what is the correct and what are the terms and conditions regarding that. So we are much focusing on letting them know about this.
Okay. See, users will concentrate only on the other side, only the claiming and settlement.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what are the terms and conditions? Definitely, they allow for the terms and condition. I think users will claim only for the two concept, claim and settlement. Concentrate more on that.
Yes, ma'am. We are focusing on that. Yeah. Any other questions, ma'am, sir?
Sir, any other queries?
No, ma'am, you can conclude.
Okay, thank you all participants. Now we have come to an end. All the students have finished with the presentation. Now I request Dr. Gauri Shankar sir to propose vote of confidence.
Ma'am? Different value.
Hello.
Now you are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. Shall I go ahead? Shall I go ahead? Good morning, all. Respected colleagues and dear students, today was an exciting day as we had assembled here for internal hackathon at our institute as part of a Smart India Hackathon 2022 initiative. The internal hackathon allowed us to evaluate and explore the projects in a competitive spirit. We had announced this internal hackathon various social media platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And we have learned judges like Prabha ma'am, Dr. Prabha ma'am, Srinivas sir, Dr. Tanuja ma'am, and Ashwani ma'am, who have lent their precious time in judging today's event. And the judges will evaluate the projects based on the novelty and the approach the students have taken to solve the given problem statement. And I'd like to inform all the students that the decision taken by the judges will be final and no student will be allowed to contest it. And I also believe that all the students have answered the questions satisfactorily to the queries raised by the judges. And I again thank all the students and judges who have participated in today's event to make it successful. And we'll be announcing the winners shortly. And as part of the initiative that we are doing for this SIH, I ask all the judges to enable their video mode so that we can have a screenshot of all the judges. Srinivas sir, can you please enable Tanuja ma'am? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Again, thank you for all the participants today. And I hope it was a very good learning process for all the participants who have participated in today's event. I hope it will be connecting forthwell like many more events like this. I hope all of you have enjoyed today's event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.